proves that society is one big insane asylum and everybody lives through a coping mechanism, it would be this first week of January of all the people going back to their place of quote work and feeling the absolutely gut-wrenching sinking feeling in their stomach the night before. Yet people will say, well, that's just normal, no one likes their job, everybody feels like that. And it's like, no. No, you feel like that because your conscience is saying to you, this is wrong. I am somebody's slave and it does not feel right. This is immoral, okay? Slavery is exactly the same today as it was before. The only difference is that it's packaged in a nicer environment. You might have a friendly slave master, like your slave master who you call your manager. It might be a friendly slave master, but they're still a slave master. They still stand there and watch you do your work, waiting for you to do something wrong so that they can punish you. It's exactly no different to back in the day in a factory or in a plantation. They did the exact same thing and waiting to exploit you whilst you do all your work, and they take from you, taking away from your produce, which is actually 100% yours. You're not producing for somebody else. You are producing with your human life, which is the highest value that exists. And your value, contrary to what you're told your entire life, is not dependent on what you can produce in terms of work and a job. But that is the entire insane asylum. It's everybody just competing with each other. Oh, be worried. AI is going to take over your job. Be worried. You're not as good as this other person, and so on and so forth. You're going to get fired. You're going to lose your job because of the crisis and all that. Everything is people, guys. Everything is people working with other people. Nothing exists. Never forget this. Nothing exists without you physically doing something, without people physically putting in the work, because that is the intrinsic value. A company, a corporation, a brand has no intrinsic value. Zero. A product has the value to which a human being made it. Okay, just like with products and all the companies that exist to just make you buy more stuff, I'm willing to bet you have an appliance somewhere in your house that is in perfect working condition and you've had it for, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Why is that? Because actually we can produce things that can last us our entire lifetime that we would never have to pay for again. But why do people constantly buy new things? Because things break and so on and so forth. Because the consumerist world makes it so that you're always a slave. You're a slave to your paycheck, and then you're a slave to all the things that you buy. Okay, so your slave master might be friendly and nice, and they might give you a lovely suit to wear. They might give you a nice shiny office to sit in so that you feel a little bit better about yourself that you're a slave, but you're still a slave. And the proof is in that sinking feeling you get. The proof is in your conscience weighing heavy on you like a ton of bricks in a backpack you keep carrying, and you keep telling yourself, you're walking in with that backpack and you're like, it's okay, like this is just the reality, like I just got to work harder, I just got to do more, and I just got to climb the ladder because then I can be a manager and then I can be the dickhead to other people, because that's what all these slave masters are. They give themselves a lovely title and then they think that they can literally dominate people. They think that they're allowed to then rule over others. Absolutely not, okay? Here's the thing. Whatever it is that you do as a job right now, learn skills, real human skills that you as a person can actually implement in your life, whether they be human skills like communication skills, or whether they be like presentation skills, or whether they be physical building skills, or whether they be skills in terms of knowledge and understanding how certain things work so that you can do them yourself. Learn skills on whatever job you're at now. Learn skills, develop yourself, and then get out. Get out. The system exists and continues to perpetuate because people continue to take on these jobs, to do all this work, because they think that that's just the way things are. It's not. It's the way it is right now because everybody is agreeing to being slaves, even though their conscience is telling them this is horrid. Why are so many people depressed? Why are so many people anxious? Because all of it is a coping mechanism. All of it. Now imagine the day that you get to wake up in the morning, not by an alarm, to force yourself out of bed and go to a place that you can't stand just so you can afford your rent. Imagine the day. And I want you to focus on that day, every day, saying, okay, so today, what am I learning? What am I doing? How am I creating my plan to get out of this? How am I going to create my plan to do something that is not going to take up all of my time, not going to make me a slave? How can I change the way I live so that my cost of living is reduced, so that I'm not a slave to all these things? How can I stop consuming things that are of no importance in life, that are actually just keeping me more enslaved to this paycheck? Okay, you do all those things, and then you take yourself out of that situation, and you finally become free. You finally become free to actually live your God-given human life, not in a way that, like, you literally, everybody here, we have to pay to live. We have to pay to live on this planet. Hello. And the payment is eternal enslavement. No, it's not supposed to be that way. No, I'm not saying it's easy. Yes, it's difficult, but you know what's more difficult? Loathing yourself every day, every morning you get up and going against your conscience and against God and the purpose that God made you for, not to be anyone's slave. Go through the discomfort, go through the uncertainty, go through the risk for that little bit of time. It's way more worth it for you to then be free. And then you can actually still work and do amazing things and be of service to God, to the truth, to others, to do things that actually help them, not sell some ridiculous product that nobody needs, right? But to actually do things that change people's lives for the positive, that change people's lives so that we can finally end suffering and slavery on this planet. Finally. It's not going to be done if you continue to support that system. You must break free from that system, and you must actually develop yourself in alignment with purpose and with God's intention for your life, which is of value.